Okay, good morning, everybody. Well, I guess for some of you it's not morning, it's probably afternoon, but hello anyway. We are on day 3 of health. We are talking about our personal health today. So, being able to make decisions that affect the health that our personal health, not somebody else's health, or the decisions that we make that affect how healthy we are personally. Okay. So first, I want to give you a reminder that you must get your quiz done on the day that it's due, which today, day 3's quiz is due today. Like, you don't have an option to do it later. You can't come back and do it tomorrow or do it later tonight. It's not homework. It is your participation points in class that day. So you have got to get the quiz finished, okay? So just remember that as we go through our stuff today. So let's get started. Our warm-up starts with a quote today. It says, "Your health is affected more by what you do than by what you know." So that's the quote. I want this quote written down in your notebooks. You must, let me face you so you can see me. You must 1000% write that quote down in your notebook. I want that quote written down in your notebook. So I hope that made sense and everyone writes the quote down in their notebook. Let's show you the quote. Your health is affected more by what you do than by what you know. So that's the quote. After you write the quote down, I want you to journal. Journal means write sentences. What does this quote mean? If you don't think you know what it means, give me your best guess. Give 3 examples of how this quote might show up in your life or the life of someone that you know. So the quote again is, your health is affected more by what you do than by what you know. If you know what it means, great, write it down. If you don't think you know, just do your best. Give me your best guess. The warm-up is not meant to be 1000% right or wrong. It is meant to get you thinking about our topic for the day, get your creative juices flowing, to be intuitive about the learning process. Like, this maybe is where we're going today. Let's find out. Okay? So use your knowledge, use your brain. It doesn't have to be 1000% right. Think about the quote. What does it maybe mean? Write down a definition that you think it might mean, and then ways that it might show up in your life or someone else's life. Okay? All right, we are going to take a little health quiz. Now you're just going to write the answers down in your notebook. You do not need to write down the questions, just the answers, about just general health knowledge. What kind of health things do you know? So, here we go. All right, number 1. True or false? Wearing a seatbelt or wearing seat belts can reduce the risk of being seriously hurt or killed in a car accident. So just in your notebook, just number it down the side, off. It doesn't matter where, at the top, somewhere at the bottom. It doesn't have to take up a lot of space. Just somewhere in your notebook, just number 1. I think there's 7 questions, and they're all going to be true or false. So number 1, was that true or false? Let's look at it again. Wearing seatbelts can reduce the risk of being seriously hurt or killed in a car accident. Okay. Number 2, abuse of cigarettes, alcohol, or tobacco can have a negative effect on your health. True or false? Number 2, abuse of cigarettes, alcohol, or tobacco can have a negative effect on your health. Number 3, a healthy diet should include lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grain breads and cereals, and should limit the amount of fats, oils, and sweets. True or false? A healthy diet should include lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grain breads, and cereals, and should limit the amount of fats, oils, and sweets. Number 4, being able to get along with people and having a positive attitude is an important part of your mental and emotional health. True or false? Being able to get along with people and having a positive attitude is an important part of your mental and emotional health. Number 5, regular exercise is good for your physical health. True or false? Regular exercise is good for your physical health. Number 6, doctors recommend that the average person get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Number 6, doctors recommend that the average person get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Number 7, Stress can sometimes cause serious health problems. Stress can sometimes cause serious health problems. True or false? Oh, and there's 8. So 8 questions. Brushing and flossing your teeth every day can help reduce cavities and gum disease. Brushing and flossing your teeth every day can help reduce cavities and gum disease. True or false? Okay. So after you finish those 8 questions, you can stop your video. We're going to do a class activity quickly, and then we'll come back to your notes. So you can pause the video now. I'll get everybody to stop, and we'll all do a class activity together, and then come back for notes. So go ahead and pause your video. All right, you should be back. You paused, and we did our fun class activity, and now you are back for notes. Yay, notes. Right? We're excited? Yay? No, maybe not. Okay. All right, so health knowledge. We did the first quiz that we did where we wrote down true and false answers in our notebook was health knowledge. Okay? That's what you know about health. So when you're looking at the definition of health knowledge, most of you have a pretty good understanding. Health knowledge is understanding of facts or information about health. So most of you know things about health. You've been told since you were little smoking is bad for you. You know that drugs are not good for you, that alcohol is bad for you. You know those things. You know that it's not safe to stand on the top of a moving car or jump off the roof of your house. Like, you understand. You have a basic knowledge of healthy things. Like, I'm going to break my leg if I jump off the roof of my house, or I could die, right? Like, those are silly things. That's silly. You understand it. You have general health knowledge. Your behaviors, on the other hand, will tell a different story. Especially with eating. You understand that fruits and vegetables are important, but when you go to actually eat fruits and vegetables, that's not always something that you're going to do. So that's a health behavior. So health behavior is anything that a person actually does involving a response to a health choice or decision. It's something that you actually do. You must actually do it. You can't just say, yeah, I know, Miss Johnson, eating apples is good for me. I should have an apple every day. You have to actually do it. That's a health behavior. And you can say, yes, I am fully aware that climbing to the top of the bleachers and jumping off is a terrible idea, that I might break an ankle or hurt myself. You have to actually not climb to the top of the bleachers and jump off. Okay? So while a lot of us have an understanding of things that are not healthy, we don't always follow through with that in our behaviors. We tend to behave in a way where we act like we don't know that those things are unhealthy or unsafe for us. So there's a large difference between health knowledge and health behaviors. What we're going to be working on in the next couple weeks is changing some of those health behaviors, making our lives healthier through the choices that we make. Okay? So the definition of health is health is not simply the absence of disease, like where you're just not sick, but a state of complete well-being, physical, mental, and social. So we've kind of talked about that with wellness. Just because you don't have a cold doesn't mean that you're completely healthy. You need to have a balanced triangle: mental, emotional, social, and physical. All of those things need to be equal in order for you to be considered at a state of total health. Okay? So it's not just the absence of disease, it's a state of complete balance in your life and of all sides of your health triangle. All right, there are things that affect your health behaviors. Some of those things are internal and some of those things are external. So an internal, dropping the iPad, I have bad news. Anything that comes from inside of you, your thoughts or your feelings. So I liken this a lot to eating. That tastes good, Ms. Johnson. I want to eat it. No one's standing over you with like a club to your head saying, eat the piece of cake. You're like, ooh, yes, I will eat the piece of cake because it makes me feel good. It tastes good. I like it. I want to do that, right? That's an internal influence. An external influence is something outside of you telling you to do it. It would be a friend saying, I'm not going to be friends with you if you don't come smoke this cigarette with me. Or, oh, we're all here just having fun at this party. You should drink some of this alcohol. That's an external influence. Okay, internal is thoughts and feelings, what you think about something. It's kind of the same thing when you see something, like that's an external influence. Maybe you see a commercial for like McDonald's and it's like Big Mac and you're like, that looks delicious. That external influence of that commercial on TV like might send you to McDonald's to get that Big Mac. Okay, maybe you had a really bad day at school and you think that going for a run will make you feel better, and it will. You should do it. You should try it sometime. That's an internal influence. Like you're feeling sad, you're feeling stressed, going to exercise, that's an internal influence. How I feel inside, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling kind of lonely. Going to exercise might make me feel better. Then you go out and exercise. That's internal. Okay, so that's your thoughts and your feelings driving you to a health behavior. Okay, not somebody else influencing you to do that health behavior. Okay, so that is external. Why can't I get it turned on today? Anything that comes from outside influences, other people, advertisements, or events. Okay. All right, moving on to our wrap-up questions for today. Why do you think people make poor health choices when they know better? So think through that. Like, that's really not that difficult to answer. Why do you jump off the top of the bleachers when you know it's not a good idea? Why do you go to McDonald's when you know it's not healthy? Why do you make poor health choices? Why do you get in the car and not put on your seatbelt when you know that's dangerous? Why are people making these choices even though they know better? Okay, so that's the first question. Second question says, give some examples when health knowledge alone is not enough to change behavior. So my go-to on that, and this is kind of giving you the answer, but for smoking, you probably know someone that smokes. They know it's not good for them. If you say, oh, you should quit smoking, they say, I know it's not good for me, but I want to do it anyway. Why? Why do they want to do it? So why? Give me some other examples. That's just one. And you can write that down also. But when is health knowledge not enough to change that behavior? When is just because you know better, is it not enough to change the behavior? When you're standing at the top of the bleachers and you know better, why do you jump anyway? Like why is the knowledge not enough to stop you? What is making you maybe want to do that bad behavior or that behavior that's going to affect your health in a poor way? All right, number 3. Name one internal and one external factor that influence health decisions. So we talked about internal and external up here. What are one of each? Give me one internal factor, give me one external factor that personally, that for you, influence your health decisions. That's it for today. You have the quiz to take. It must be done today. So take the quiz. There's an in-class assignment that is going to rate you on your personal health experiences. It's for your eyes only. I get a copy just so that I know that you did it. Be honest. It's not helpful to rate your personal health behaviors if you're lying. Like, I'm great at everything. I eat healthy. I'm nice to everyone. I throw all my trash away. I buckle up every time I get in the car. I always brush my teeth. It's not helpful if you're just perfect all the time, right? No one is perfect all the time. No one is making these health choices perfectly every single day. So be honest when you're filling out. If you have a low score, who cares? You have a low score. That just means that there's areas that you can work on and improve on. Everyone has those. So as you're doing the in-class assignment, the personal health inventory, understand that it's for your eyes only. I get a copy only to make sure that you did it. And then we're going to start setting some goals and trying to change some of these health behaviors. But if you have nothing to change, if you're perfect everywhere, which you're not, because everyone is not perfect, we make mistakes, that's part of being human, you need something to work on. You need something to set your goal for. So be honest when you're filling out the personal health inventory today. There's also an extra assignment on there today that's just totally extra. If you get finished and you do it and you turn it in, I'll give you a choice of 3 prizes. So some of them might be delicious prizes. Some of them might be power cards. Some of them might be like, I don't have to do the wrap-up questions tomorrow. So it might be worth it if you finish early to look into getting the extra assignment done. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.